Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Top software engineer says XRP price is a no-brainer. Risk-reward ratio unheard of. Okay guys, let's get into it. Okay, so the software engineer in question is Vincent Van Code. Think I've heard of him on X here and there, may have seen a post or two by him, but it's not someone I'm like completely familiar with. But he's basically saying, look, looking at XRP at these prices, like he's saying he doesn't think they're going to stay at these prices for much longer, and that he thinks that XRP overall is a no-brainer looking at the risk-reward ratio. I completely agree with this, to be honest with you. I mean, at the end of the day, look, you know, people might be worried about where the market's going right now, but at the end of the day, like, that's not XRP specific. So, you know, when you're saying that in terms of like the risk, XRP is just following the rest of the market, so that's not specific to XRP, right? So when we look at XRP as a token in of itself, well, you know, the lawsuit is coming to an end. It's pretty much been said that it's done. The SEC are not pursuing any further legal action. We've got 11 ETFs that are waiting to be approved. There's partnerships going on with Ripple. You know, there's adoption through RLUSD. There's adoption through the XRP ledger. There's plenty of things going on with XRP to be excited about its future. And that is going to equate to its future value, its future price. And so, yeah, like, do I think it's a no-brainer? Ultimately, yes, because this is the thing, right? Let's just go with the economic uncertainty that people are worrying about right now, which I'm not saying that you shouldn't be worried. I get it. Like, it could be a thing where the markets are in a bit of a problem for a little while. I don't know, but I'm not saying that that's wrong to think like that, but think long term. Do you think long term that XRP, you know, this will finish XRP completely? I do not believe that. So even if it takes like another year or two or something like that to recover, then eventually long term, XRP is going to be back in business. And so, like, yeah, like if that's the case, then I do believe that in the end, ultimately, you are still going to make money out of XRP. And look, we don't know. This whole thing could get resolved. This whole thing could turn out to be like a big nothing burger, because the whole situation could get resolved pretty quickly. You know, it could be the tariff situation gets negotiated, countries come together and they make some deals, and then that's it. That's the end of it. It's all sorted. So we don't know whether this is going to be a long-term thing, a short-term thing. We've got no idea. But the point being is, look, even if that is the case, that it does affect the markets, I'm not trying to make it like I'll be happy if the markets was to go back into like a bear market. Like, I don't want that to happen. I want us to have the final blow off top and have the full boring that we're supposed to have. But if that does happen, worst case scenario, I don't think that's the end of the economy and the end of the stock market and the end of the crypto market. Therefore, I do believe eventually the markets will recover and there will be another bull run at some point, and XRP will continue to go up in value. So because of that, yeah, do I think at this point right now it's a no-brainer? Yeah, I mean, look at how many people was, you know, like dogging XRP, get on XRP, putting it down and whatnot when it was like 50 cents, 60 cents, etc. And what ultimately happened? It flew up to like $3. So the people who say these kind of things, you've got to understand that a lot of them, they have biases, and a lot of them clearly don't really know much of what they're talking about, because, you know, when XRP was like 50 cents, etc., I was here creating content saying how, you know, these prices won't always stay here. Like, if you believe in XRP's fundamentals, then you should see that long term XRP is going to go up, is going to do well. And clearly that's what happened. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is, like, realistically, do I think it's likely that XRP is going to go higher up in value at some point? Yes. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, now I can't put a time frame on it. I understand that. So I want to make that clear. Like, I can't say that, you know, XRP is going to go up in value by next month. I don't know that. But long term, do I believe it will go up in value? Yes. I don't know by how much, and I don't know how long it will take, but I believe long term it will go up in value. So in terms of the risk reward ratio, in my opinion, yeah, the reward to me is much higher, because I believe at some point in time, XRP will be much more valuable. Therefore, I feel like it's going to be a much more reward / risk. Unless something was to come out about the XRP ledger, like, you know, there's some issue with the code or something like that, then there's no real reason to be concerned, right? Like, there's nothing out here at the moment that you would hear and say, oh, that's a problem. So if you've got nothing like that to be worried about, then you've got nothing to be concerned about, right? Like, there's nothing there that's causing any fears or any potential concerns. And so when I look at investing in XRP, I mean, look, for me, I've already invested my money in XRP. So, you know, even looking at these prices now, fortunately for me, I got in XRP when it was much lower. So even when it's like hanging on these prices now, for people who brought in at the top at $3, then yeah, you guys are down right now. For me, I've been in early enough where I'm still up in profit, you know, so even if I was to come out now, I'll have still made a profit, but I've not come out because I still believe I can make more. You know, I believe it can go much higher. So I've not sold my XRP. And so I just want to say that, like, to me, if you believe long-term XRP is going to be valuable and you believe in like the use cases and the technology it is, then you've really got no worries, you know, to be having doubts. You've got no real reason to be having doubts unless something comes out. Now, don't get me wrong. Look, if something was to come out about XRP that was a concern, believe me, I'd be here with you guys and saying, hey, just letting you know, this has come out. This is a problem. This is something that we should be checking out deeper and making sure that there's no, you know, real issues here. But I don't see that. I don't see that right now. So at the end of the day, until I see anything like that, I'll continue to see how well XRP is doing overall, and I continue to be confident in its future. So yeah, just to finish this off, I do think XRP is a no-brainer at these prices, in my opinion, because I think, to me, I'm as confident as I can be that XRP will continue to go up in value at some point in time. So if that's the case, I'm confident I'll continue to make money. So yeah, to me, it is a no-brainer. I completely agree. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that bell. Take care.